Well, for days, people in West Baltimore were told to boil water, line up for bottled water, and keep the taps running to flush E. coli out of the system. Now we know it took the city 31 hours just to warn neighbors. That is a second positive test confirmed the finding.
That timeline revealed for the first time this afternoon by the director of the Department of Public Works. Hello, everyone. I'm Vic Carter.
And I'm Rick Ritter. Welcome to those of you watching on CBS News Baltimore and right here on WJZ.
Some members of City Council call the Public Works response, quote, abysmal. WJZ's Live, Paul Gessler, was in that meeting the whole way through. And
Paul, you heard DPW officials defend their handling of this incident.
Yeah, defend, but also admit that some lessons were learned and they really need to make some changes as well. Now, this was the first of multiple city council hearings into the communication around this water contamination. The mayor last week defended the communication effort, but as I mentioned today, multiple admissions from his agency head of struggles and lessons learned.
Good afternoon. This is the Rules and Legislative Oversight Committee.
City Council seeks changes following this month's West Baltimore water contamination.
And the communication, as far as I'm concerned, was completely abysmal.
The city's Public Works laying out the timeline of positive test and notification.
It seems like there was a disconnect.
Where more than a day passed between Sunday's second positive E. coli test and a boil water advisory.
The media and the public was left in the dark for those critical hours on Monday. If you wanted people to know about this emergency, your best friend is the media.
We don't just want to meet the regulatory requirements. We want to exceed them. We want to beat them.
Councilman Eric Costello thinks the agency was in violation of federal law requiring public notification within 24 hours and says the first low-resolution map did not go far enough.
This created confusion and hysteria for multiple senior buildings.
I blame just about every single agency because to me it shows that there's no real communications between the agencies.
Officials laid out why they did not send push alerts to phones, saying in part they did not want to alarm a wide audience.
This, to me, seems like it could have been a serious threat to human health. Why not an alert?
There was a lot of lessons learned, right? And communication was a huge lesson.
DPW's director says the agency is making changes in its communications team, undergoing crisis training, and will begin to post water testing results monthly. He says investigators are still looking into the cause of the contamination. City health officials say they are not aware of any cases of people getting sick from contaminated water. Now, council members also expressed the need for what that communication was like with state officials, the State Department of the Environment. We expect to learn a lot more about that when these hearings continue this time next week. For now, reporting live from outside City Hall, I'm Paul Gessler for WJZ.